Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cool Stuff with Kyle. I have a number of fossil specimens that are in my collection to show you today. These are from Wooly Mammoth, one from a Wooly Rhino, and I also have a dinosaur egg. Let's take a look at them. Okay, so here's all the fossils. So this one here, this is called a Spinous process. And so basically the woolly mammoths, this is from a woolly mammoth that was found in a river in Florida, I do believe. So in the neck area, they had these vertebrae that this was the top part of it. So the main part of the vertebrae is this is broken off from it. This was like a spine that was attached to the top of the vertebrae and stuck up vertically like this. And they had a ridge going down their whole neck area, down attaching into the back area, a ridge that stuck up, and that's because of these spinous processes that stuck up from the top of the vertebrae and formed that ridge. So they had this bony ridge up there, and if you've seen depictions of woolly mammoths, what they might have looked like when they were alive, you can see that. And they have a pretty good idea of what they actually looked like when they're alive because they've found entire frozen mammoths. So, you know, they know pretty well what that was actually like. So that's what that is. And then let's take a look over here at this one. This is a woolly mammoth tooth. So mammoths, like elephants, they had these molars that have a very flat chewing surface. So that's the chewing surface there, that flat part. And it's because, you know, they're plant eaters, so they need something to crush the plants with, not so much things to rip and tear like carnivores would have. So they had these flat crushing molars. And this one, as I understand, I did some research about this, and because it has all of these roots here, this is one where this animal actually died with this tooth in its mouth. This isn't what you would call a spit tooth, which is basically as they're growing, they would grow, you know, a larger tooth and spit out the baby tooth. Basically, this is actually like I guess you'd say like a baby tooth, but this is one that the animal actually died at. Yeah, I've heard some estimates, maybe 10 years old, with this one in its mouth because it has these roots attached. And so that is a woolly mammoth tooth. And then these three pieces right here. These are pieces of woolly mammoth tusk. So this is ivory, and you can see that there's like this outer layer, and then this is just it's a cut wedge from the tusk. So the full tusk would have been much bigger. This is just a wedge cut out of it, but you can kind of see the surface of what that looks like inside of the tusk there, and then that again looks like an exterior part to me. Here's another piece I have. You can see the layers that were formed inside of this tusk. So there's the outer edge of the tusk, and you know they would have been essentially rounded, so long and rounded, and so the length of it ran like this, and then this curve here would have continued all the way around. So you can imagine how large of a tusk that might have been with that going all the way around in a circle. But you can see there were different layers formed inside of there. It's kind of neat. And then this one here is a very large piece that I'd say came from a very big mammoth. I can imagine that would have been a big heavy tusk. You can see some really thick layers on this one, and that's the outer part of it there on that one. Let's see, a few layers there. And then I have this one piece right here, another one that was found in a river. I think this one was from Florida too, if I remember right. But this is a piece from a Wooly Rhinoceros. And of course those are extinct now as well, just like the woolly mammoths. But that's just a bone. I'm not sure what part of the animal this bone was from, but from a woolly rhinoceros. And then the last thing that I have to show you It's another one of those things where I always kind of wondered, is this something that a private collector can get, you know? And I did some research into it and found out that, yeah, if you're willing to pay, you can find a genuine dinosaur egg, which is what this is. The problem with finding dinosaur eggs is that, you know, yeah, you can find them in the United States, but a lot of the ones that you're going to find, genuine ones, are from China, but also all of the fakes typically come from China, and there's a lot of fakes out there. So I was really afraid about, you know, buying a dinosaur egg online or something and finding out, oh, this thing isn't real, this is a fake. So I found someone that had this for sale that wasn't somebody that was selling a lot of dinosaur eggs. It was actually a group that specializes in selling amber, but they had this one dinosaur egg for sale. And so I thought, well, that's interesting. Why do they have this one dinosaur egg for sale? You know, and I contacted them, and they told me about it. They had it for a number of years and just kind of decided it was something they were ready to get rid of. And that was really a good sign because, you know, if they got it a number of years ago, it may have been easier to find dinosaur eggs then. Nowadays, China has really locked down the export of dinosaur eggs and other fossils to where it's very difficult to get them out of China. It's not typically, as I understand, it's not legal to take these things out of China nowadays. So more of these things left China years ago, and so that bodes well for this being real if it came out of China, you know, a couple of decades ago. So I talked to them about it, you know, and it sounded very legit. They had some really good detailed pictures of it, and I used those to talk to some people on the internet that know a lot more about this than I do. And they looked at all the pictures and they said, yeah, I think that's 100% a legitimate dinosaur egg. And this is, from what I understand, probably from a Hadrosaur, which is what you might know as a duck-billed dinosaur. But you can see all the you know, the cracks in the shell there and everything, which is also a good sign, because if fossils that are fakes, if they look too perfect, then there could be a reason why they look so perfect. But this doesn't look perfect, you know, which actually is good for it being genuine. So that is my dinosaur egg. And that's everything that I have to show you from my collection today. I hope that you all enjoyed seeing these items. And remember, until next time, the world is full of cool stuff. Go out and find some. Thank you.